Hi guys, this is Miss Acton, and I'm doing math with you today, and it's going to be pretty simple today because I'm not teaching you anything new. Yesterday we reviewed because today we're taking a math assessment, a math test today. So I'm just going to show you from one of my students' perspectives how you're going to be seeing your screen, how to get there, and then how to use some of the tools on there to help make it as easy for you as possible because we don't want you asking your families to come help you. We want you to be doing this on your own because it is a test, and we want to know what you've learned, not what mom, dad, auntie, granny, big brother, big sister. We don't want to know what they've learned. We want to know what you've learned, okay? So right now I'm using my friend Shadrach, who's in my class. I'm using his account because he does paper packets at home, and it's just the easy way for me to show you how to do everything from the kids' point of view, from your all's point of view, without messing up somebody else's assignments, okay? So you're going to go to your classroom. So I clicked up here in our waffle, as our Google Apps, and I'm going to click on our classroom. Then you're going to click on Miss Ramos, Miss Just, or Miss Acton. Shadrach is in Miss Acton's class, so that's what he's going to click on. There it is. And then where you find all of your classwork for the day, the math, reading, and writing in the classwork is where you're going to click. So click on classwork. And then for today, Tuesday, September 22nd, you have math, reading, and writing, but the math is different because it says math test. This is for Miss Acton's class. I don't know what Miss Ramos or Miss Just are going to call theirs, but just look for the one that doesn't say reading or writing, and that's probably the math one. They might put math test. I know what its original name was topic 1 assessment. I was like, that's goofy. They're not going to know what that is, and so I changed it to math test. But I don't know what Miss Acton or Miss Ramos or Miss Just are going to put. So when you guys look in your classwork tab, just look for which one is not reading and not writing, and that's probably the one. And to also help you when you open it up, and before it says view assignment, you should see a green box, okay? So yeah, Miss Ramos and Miss Just, if they don't change the name, it will say topic 1 online assessment, which just means the pages that we've been working on, you're going to do it online. It's a test. Assessment is just a fancy word for a test, okay? So you're going to click on this green box. There's already the video on there, but you're watching that right now. Take me there now. So we see that big green screen that we're used to seeing. And then it's going to take me to the online assessment. I believe it is red. A lot of the stuff that you guys have been working on has been a big blue check mark. Or I think a green box. If I'm not mistaken. I think this one is red. Yep, I'm right. So online placement test, and right here it says not started because I have not started it yet. So when you first click on this, it's going to say that you have not started it either. So we're going to click on that, and it's going to take us to topic 1 online assessment. And then almost every single, I think every single question, not almost, I mean all of them, has this little box right here that if you click on it, and actually I have my sound turned off. Let's turn that on. Oh, let's turn you on. Watch, it'll be too loud and make my ears hurt. But if you click on these listen speakers, it will read whatever you need to you. So let's try it.
Answer each question carefully. After you submit your test, you won't be able to change your answers.
So she read this part right here. Answer each question carefully. After you submit your test, you won't be able to change your answers. So very good advice. So once you've got everything that you need, you can go ahead and push start. But let me say one thing. This is an online test, and they really don't give you any tools to where you can draw on your screen to do any of the work. For example, if they want you to solve an equation like 17 minus 8, and you don't have that in your brain memorized yet, you need to still draw a tens frame or a number line, that tool will not be on your page. So right now, what I would do before I push this blue start button, I would go and find a scrap sheet of paper and something to write with, and that can be where you do your work, okay? You don't want to start this test and then have to get up and go get something because that just takes forever and it gets frustrating and you kind of lose what you got going on in your noggin that prepares you for the test. So right now, before you push the start button, I would go find some scrap paper and a pencil or anything to write with so that you have something to do that work on something like you would in the classroom for this test, okay? So pause the video if you need to go get all that done, and then we're going to go ahead and push start. So again, this is how you're going to be doing it on your own. So we are technically doing Shadrach's online test for him. So let's see if we can give him 100%. So on here it says Lee draws. Oh, what this show up right here? I know that this is like a YouTube play button, so I'm going to play that and see what happens.
Lee draws 8 flowers. Anthony draws 5 flowers. How many flowers did they draw in all? Which shows how to count on to solve the problem.
Perfect. So it looks like it didn't read the answers to us, but it read the problem. So it says Lee draws 8 flowers. So it looks like that 8 is that number we need to represent first. Anthony draws 5 flowers. How many flowers did they draw in all? So we need to find out how many flowers Lee and Anthony drew all together. And then it says which shows how to count on to solve the problem. So you're not going to have blank plus blank. You need to be able to count it on. So you would start with a number in your brain and count up 10, 11, 12, 13 type thing. So you're going to pick which one of these answers are correct. Um, I'm not going to click an answer because I don't want to give away an answer because this is not Miss Acton's work. This is your work. But you're going to bubble in one of these answers, and when I click on one, you see how it bubbles it in? And I can only choose one because there's only one answer. So think about how you could count on by solving this equation that has the numbers 8 and 5 in it, and how you can get your answer. I'm going to lose this. So down at the bottom, you have a bunch of buttons that you can choose from. There's next, which just takes you to the next question. There's back, so maybe you're like, oh, I did that first one wrong, or I didn't finish it up, or I didn't even select an answer. You can go back to it by pushing this. Down here, it shows you how many questions that you're on. So I'm on question number 1 of 15 down here. And then when you click the review progress, it shows you what you've answered, what you have not. So it says that I have answered, come on, deep breaths, Miss Acton, deep breaths. So it says that I have answered question number 1, but I have not answered any other questions on this test, all the way up to question number 14. Okay. All right. And then I do not want to push submit test because I haven't even answered any of the questions yet. So I'm going to go back to view question so that I can start answering it. And then it'll take me back to where I just was. So I don't remember if I bubbled in question number 1. Let's go back to make sure. Okay, so I did bubble in an answer. Don't pay attention to this, though, because this might not be the right answer, because this was Miss Acton just giving you an example of how we would bubble it in. So do your own thinking on here and choose whatever answer that you know is correct, because I'm pretty sure the one Miss Acton chose is not. All right, next question, number 2. And you guys know, if you've been working in this math workbook, you know that this whole program just moves at its own pace. It moves pretty slow. So again, we have this play button up here to play this problem for us.
Lucy has 8 rings. Kara has 1 more ring than Lucy. Which equations show how many rings in all? Choose all that apply.
So this one isn't just bubbling one answer. You're going to choose all that apply. So you could check every single one of these boxes if you wanted to. And actually, it's telling me I can only choose 2, so that means you only have 2 answers in there. So that's a good hint. I didn't even give you that hint. This program did. So you're going to choose which one of these problems will help you solve this problem up here. And you can click this button
Lucy has 8 rings.
100
Kara has
times. You can pause it.
1 more ring
And
than
you can
Lucy.
replay it, and then you can
Which
replay it, and
equations
you can
show how
replay it because you want to read this equation as many times as you need to get the answer right, okay? And then, like I said before, there's no drawing tool. There's that virtual tools that are over here on the workbook pages that have the stamp and all that stuff. There's none of that on this test, and you can't draw on any of this on here. And I don't want you to just be like, I think it's this one. Don't do that. Have a scrap sheet of paper there with you and something to write with so you can do that work right there next to you, okay? All right, so we're going to move on to question number 3. And so again, it'll have that play button where it plays it for you.
use the 10 frames. Part A. Which model shows how to find the sum of 8 plus 6 by making it 10?
And then it's got another one for part B down here too. So see, it has a play button for part B. So in part B wants you to answer the question or create an equation to go with the question that it had up here. It's got some good visuals for you too. So yeah, you're going to bubble in one of these answers, and then you're going to type in an equation down here in this box, okay? So I hope you're getting the idea that it's going to read the question to you, which is awesome. Take advantage of that and have them read it to you 100 times if you need it. I hope that you guys are also understanding that you need to have a scrap sheet of paper because there are no tools on the screen to help you draw on here to get your answer. So instead of you just thinking that you got it in your brain and getting a question wrong, if your brain loses something, if you have it on that piece of paper, you can see where you made a mistake, or you can see where you did a fantastic job, and you can see your train of thought. Oh, at first I did this, then I did this. You lose that when you try to do it all in your brain, okay? So hopefully those are the things that you're noticing. So what I'm going to do is keep going. So we got some word problems. We've got equations where I would have the speech box read to you. Oh, we got another one that's got those fandy dandy. I was trying to put fancy and handy dandy together, and it did not work out. You have those fancy tens frames, which I always love. This one also has a part A and a part B, but it reads both parts to you. So again, these questions do a really good job of making it to where you do not need your family there to help you take the test. And you know that you do not need your family's help to answer a question for you, because this is your work, not your mom's work, not your daddy's work, not your auntie's work, not your granny's work, not your brothers and sisters' work, not your next door neighbor's work. No, none of those people's work. It is your work, all right? So I'm trying to take us to the end. That way I can show you how you submit your work. Because you guys are really good at submitting like the forms in our classwork tab. But when it comes to envisions, a lot of my friends skip that part. So we're on question 15 of 15, and it wants us to answer it. Then when I click next, it takes us here where it says that I didn't answer a whole bunch of them, but that was on purpose. And then down here it says submit test. So yours, when you're finished, see how mine has answered right here? When you get done, you should not have any red here. You should have every single one that says answered. And if any of them says not answered, you're going to click on view question and go back to that question and answer it. Okay, even if you don't know what the answer is, you can still take a really good guess and maybe get lucky and get it right. You still have to take an answer in there instead of just leaving it blank. But for this part, just because I don't want to waste our time and go through and answer every single one of those, I wanted to get through this so you guys aren't spending all day watching this video and you can get started on the test. You're going to push submit test. If you do not push that, your work goes bye-bye. And then your teachers do not get this as test. They have to reassign it to you, which is pretty hard, guys. It's hard work for us teachers doing that stuff. And then you have to take it again. Oh, you don't want to do that. You want to get it right the first time and keep your teachers happy, because happy teachers equal happy students. So you're going to push submit test, and I think it'll like give you one last warning. If you turn this in, da 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 da. All right. So clearly Shadrach did not do a good job, but we know it was just because Miss Acton was skipping over questions. But it'll give you kind of an idea of how you did. So it'll tell you what you got correct, what you didn't get right. It kind of gives you an idea of what you need to practice on up here. And this is kind of stuff that Miss Ramos, Miss Acton, and Miss Just would use. But still look over that and see like, oh, I didn't get any questions right that talked about making a 10 to add or making a 10 to subtract. I was not good at that. So maybe you could go back to the classwork and find the lesson that someone taught you that one. I think it was Miss Just that probably did those. The week that she had math, go back in them and practice those more. Or see if you can find a video online to teach you how to do it. You guys are smart when it comes to YouTube and stuff like that. But after you do that, you have submitted your work. Fantastic job. I'll show you how it shows up for Miss Acton. So let me find my page. So this is me, and I can't remember if it's in my classroom or if I actually have to go to my envisions and I can actually see it, but I can actually see that you turned it in, so I can text mom and dad or whoever's taking care of you that day and actually tell them, yes, they submitted their work, great job, finished writing and reading for today, and then they're all good. So if I go into classwork, come on computer, Take your time. And when I go into math, it should say that one person has finished it or has turned it in. Oh, who do you think's turned it in? Who do you think that is? Oh, it's Shadrach. Good job, Shadrach. So once you've turned it in, your name will show up whenever I hover above the turned in, and your name will show up right here. If you did not turn it in, then your name will just stay blank over here on the side. Okay. So your teachers will know whether you've turned it in or not, and we're going over this test on Thursday, so please, please, please try to get it done today. Um, even if it's the only assignment or only classwork that you do today, please make sure that you get that done, okay? All right, guys, so that's all Miss Acton had to show you. So remember, your test is in your classwork tab. When you get into your classroom, you click on classwork. It will be under the math test. Miss Acton's video is in there. You just got done watching it. Then you're going to click on the green button, and it's going to take you to the screen where it's got the red button. I think you click on the red button, start the test, make sure you push submit test, and then you are done, okay? So thank you for watching the video. If you have any questions, contact your teacher, and good luck on the test. I hope you do a good job. Good luck. Bye, guys.